8 Secret Ways to Build an Aeroplane in Bloxburg 2021 Update. Hey guys, welcome back to Blox Fire Insight. It's another lit video as usual, and I am super excited for it. Let me show you the 8 secret ways to build an aeroplane in Bloxburg, the 2021 update. Before we start, please subscribe if you are new, like and comment right below this video. Don't forget to turn on the post notification. Let's get into this. How is it built? So this is how the aircraft. First, there are a few things in the world of flight simulation as frustrating as flying an aircraft with a keyboard. If you like flight simulation or want to get more immersed in it, there are simple ways of making the experience of being a home pilot more realistic and enjoyable. So the first step in making an aircraft or an airplane is, before you begin, I would recommend starting with the basics before you take off head first into making a comprehensive flight simulation rig. Flight simulator peripherals aren't always inexpensive, and they take up space on your desk and in your room. Also, if you are thinking you might get more into flight simulation as you move forward, make sure that your initial investment is something you can build on instead of something you'll need to replace with better gear in the future. It starts with the stick. For many home pilots, a joystick is all you need. And this goes back to controlling pitch and roll with the keyboard. It is not fun. The joystick has been ubiquitous since the early days of arcade gaming. In the olden days, you might have a joystick with one button, and that button was usually on the base, not on the stick. Flight simulation helped push the design of joysticks to the ergonomic and amazingly super programmable models we have today. Depending on your need for realism, there are two basic types of joystick design: universal and realistic. The universal type sticks are sleek and modern looking, with superb ergonomics and tons of programmable buttons and switches. A perfect example of the modern joystick is the Thrustmaster T16000M FCS flight stick. One advantage of the universal joystick is maximized programmability. Yokes or no yokes? I always found it odd to peer into the cockpit of a modern Airbus airliner and see a side stick controller. When I fly flight simulator aircraft, especially a big Boeing or even a Cessna 182, I like to fly with the traditional control yoke. For me, flying with a yoke on which I can place two hands and push and pull to pitch my aircraft gives another level of realism. Oppositely, flying a Boeing FA-18 Hornet with a yoke instead of a joystick does not work for me. But if you are planning on spending hours in the virtual cockpit of a Heavy, consider a control yoke. Increased throttle. The next peripheral a home pilot might want to add is a throttle. Many joysticks have desk space saving built-in throttle capabilities, like the Thrustmaster T-Flight Stick X joystick. However, there is another gain of realism by having a separate throttle quadrant. Another advantage of a throttle is additional programmable buttons for more HOTAS work. The Thrustmaster T-Flight HOTAS X has a detachable throttle quadrant, and the previously mentioned T16000M is sold with a stick and throttle combo. Yaw or no yaw? One region of flying with which I never really was satisfied in the world of flight simulation is maneuvering the aircraft in the yaw axis. In an airplane, the rudder controls yaw and the rudder is controlled by pedals. Some joysticks allow a twisting action to control yaw in the simulator, but this takes away from the realism for me. I believe the cancelled Comanche helicopter had a twisting cyclic for yaw control, so maybe this is the future. Push realism. Are you a casual home pilot who likes to dabble in the world of flight simulation? Or are you logging dozens of hours every week flying around the world for a virtual airline? It is completely up to you how much realism you want to add via peripherals, and even die-hard flight sim pilots can make do with just a single joystick, while others convert entire home offices into a virtual cockpit. Screen or goggles? In the past, all at-home flight simulation was done on the screen before you. Now, multiple monitor rigs allow you to completely immerse yourself in simulation with screens dedicated to the outside view and interior control panels. The options are too numerous to mention here, but feel free to fill your room with flat-screen monitors and go flying. I can't hear you! Another way to increase your immersion is through sound and speech. Speakers are great, but if you want to really feel the hum of the turbofan engines behind you, the chatter on the simulator air traffic control frequencies, and not be a bother to your roommates or significant other, headsets are the way to go. Now you can crank up the engine volume, hear the landing gear horn in stereo, and, if you have a boom mic, return to base following ATC vectors. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, like and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the post notification for more amazing videos. Stay tuned.